Right, top stories from Reuters Breakingviews out of London. Barclays needs to take a leaf out of the UBS book. How the UBS lockout looks like banking at its very worst. And why Disney has decided to put its faith in the power of the force. We'll get their take on that story. That was out yesterday, wasn't it, that story?
Very late yesterday, so it's...
All right, we'll finish with that. Let's start with Barclays. Look at the numbers first. You're saying they need a strategy shift. They don't need to do what UBS did necessarily, but they need to do something decisive.
Well, to be fair to them, that strategy review is underway, and I think the new CEO, Anthony Jenkins, is promising that some sort of decision or results of the review will be in place by February. But, I mean, given the way that UBS has grasped the nettle, one of the questions to come out of the results today, which aren't bad, but they're not great either, is can we get a move on with this review, and can we be sure that at the end of the day it's really going to deliver some significant change? Because looking at the numbers, it does look as if Barclays does need to look at itself quite closely and do some fundamental changes.
It seems to be a big debate right now is Jenkins being the retail man. We were expecting a shift very much in that direction. But now that UBS has pulled out of the fixed income banking, isn't there a good argument for them to actually for Barclays to actually expand in that area now?
It is complicated actually, and there are various different bits to the jigsaw, and that it would be unwise to move in an over hasty kind of fashion. Let me try and put a few of the questions out there. I mean, yes, it was expected that Barclays might move towards a more retail franchise, but actually you look at that and saying that's not necessarily the case. There are benefits in having investment banking and retail banking together. So, yes, there needs to be reform, but it's not necessarily of the simple, let's chop this bank into two pieces. Go into the investment bank, go in and look at the effectiveness in some ways of what UBS has done, apply that to Barclays. You say, well, actually, UBS was weak in fixed income. Right? Barclays is pretty strong in fixed income. So we're not going to be able to see it taking precisely the same leaves out of the UBS book. But it does seem to us that this strategy rethink has to be fundamental and has to be really good and has to be quite quick as well.
Okay. With UBS, sticking with UBS, locking the bankers out of the building yesterday. The turnstile's not working when they use their passes here. It's not really a way to treat anyone, is it?
Well, yeah, and it's a very different kind of view to the one that we've just been talking about how to run the business. This is very separate. It just says, anyone looking at this from outside and who could see that someone is effectively fired when their security pass doesn't work. That's just mad. I mean, I'm not trying to make you feel sorry for investors.
You're feeling sorry for the bankers.
I'm not trying to make you feel sorry for the bankers nor these people. They get very adequately compensated. They have pretty cushy numbers. So I'm not saying anything. I'm not trying to, as I say, feel sorry for them. But I'm just saying that if this is the way they treat people, or if this is the way people who are treated like this think is reasonable, isn't there something really wrong with the way this industry works?
Yeah. But we knew that.
Oh, right, OK. Well, here's proof then.
Yes, exactly.
And if we did know that, why isn't something being done about it? It may be that a relatively small little issue like this, which chimes so clearly with individuals, might actually prompt some change. These banks need to start acting like human beings, not automatons.
Yep. Very quick word on Disney and Bob Iger and George Lucas.
Who doesn't like Star Wars, right. And who doesn't like this deal, really? I mean, it looks great for Disney, and people will get more Star Wars filmed. There will be a sort of James Bondification, I think the phrase has been used, of Star Wars. We get a new Star Wars film every couple of years. I think, though, two things that, read The View, because it goes deeper than that and says, we don't actually know how much money Star Wars makes, so we don't actually know how good a deal this is. And the other thing is that Disney seems to be buying its really exciting stuff. Is this and this is another example.
You mean rather than making it itself?
Yeah. It bought Pixar, didn't it?
Yeah.
Marvel, isn't that another one? Disney doesn't seem to be growing its own sort of strength, if you like. It seems to be having to buy it in. Fair enough, does it matter? I don't know, but it's an observation which I think is brought out of this piece.
OK, very good. Robert, many thanks for that. Robert Cole from Breaking Views. If you want to watch our US show, that comes on every day, 12:30 Eastern, 17:30 BST. I'm Axel Threlfall. This is Reuters.